I guess I'll say it now since the company obviously isn't going back. A couple of years ago, I did have an interview with them. In 2023, not the last batch of joinees, but when there was only the original group, plus a couple of other members. Yeah, it's a pretty funny story. And I got to final stage with them. Yeah. Final interview, spoke to some pretty high up big stonks people. And I was having the final interview and they were asking me a bunch of questions about stuff. Yeah, I've spoken to pretty much every major corpo at this point. And the funny question and the reason I think that they said they wouldn't hire me. Yeah, I did not make the cut. I was not good enough. The big reason why they wouldn't hire me was everything was going swimmingly. And then the interviewer, who was a girl, a lady, and she was very nice, but she said to me, okay, so this is just a question we gotta ask. How do you feel about male collabs? And I said, like in general, I don't have a problem. That's fine. And she was like, no, you doing collabs. You're cool with collabing with flesh tubers. She didn't say flesh tubers. You're cool with collabing with guys and IRL streamers and things like that? Because I took a look at your page and it seems like you don't collab with many people. And I said, oh, no, I don't. No. No, not me. I was like, I don't have a problem, but no, I don't really want to. Just a personal thing, I'm not really into that. And she was like, oh, so what if... And then she was like, okay, alright, what if the guy has a lot of viewers? And I went completely silent for a minute, because I was like, what? She was like, what if it's a male talent, a part of the group? And at the time, I was like, the company is called VShojo. And again, now, well, there was guys, but at the time there wasn't. And I was like, what? And I remember just sitting there in shocked silence for a minute. And I was like, no, I wouldn't be open to doing that. And she was like, you wouldn't? Like, in shock? Just because they're a guy? And I said, no, I don't do male collabs personally, but I don't have an issue with it. And then she went, okay, like really drawn out. And then we continue with the interview. And then I got the email like, unfortunately, you're not been selected to continue, blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh, okay. It was a bit of a bummer at the time, but I was like, okay, that was weird. That was probably why, whatever.